Hello everyone, it's Jessica here with another layout for the Peartree Cutfile design team. Today I'm using this beautiful cut file from June 2024. This is Wander, Travel, and Explore. I'm starting this layout off with my circle cutter and some 49 and Market supplies. So I've chosen this beautiful blue kind of ticket background. I think it's from the Wherever collection if I remember right. And I just used my We Are Memory Keepers circle cutter there, or We Are Makers. I can't remember. I think it's We Are Makers now is what they're called. But I used my circle cutter on that and just cut a circle off of that top portion. And then I want to create a layered circle. So I'm just going to attach this to this favorite of mine, black and white striped 49 and Market paper, and I'm just going to trim that with my scissors just so that I have a little bit of an outline. I'm going to distress the edges of it, so I'm not worried about how perfect that is. I'm just using my edge distresser. As you can see, you can enjoy my baby girl running her monster truck on my desk. This pretty much this whole video, she's here and playing out on my desk. So I just let her go because she was having a blast and she was enjoying herself and being good. So I am just going to glue this directly onto my, I almost messed up, onto my photo because she pushed my hand and I actually accidentally almost stuck that in the wrong place. But I'm going to go ahead and glue that down to my photo directly, and then I'm just using some small scissors to trim out around the outline of it so that my photo goes in the middle of that geotag, which I absolutely love doing this with cut files. I love placing them inside letters or elements within the cut file. My cut file itself has already been cut out with some textured black cardstock from my stash, and I'm just going to pull out the small paper pad from this collection. This is the Wherever collection by 49 Market. I believe I mentioned it earlier. It's one of my favorite travel-y kind of collections. I just love all the colors in it. And I am just going to take the negative pieces from my cutting mat here beside me, and I'm just going to place them on top of my pattern paper and just trim out around the letters, just leaving a little bit of a border. That's how I manually back my letters. And I'll continue doing this for all the rest of the letters on this cut file until they're all backed. And I'm just alternating my pattern papers as I go. So as you can see here, I just placed the letter down and then just cut out around it, just leaving a little bit of an outline just so that I have something to glue this to. I'm going to leave the rest of these letters and me backing them in here because I think baby girl comes in with her little tiny hands and it just looks so sweet. I had to leave this in here. She's playing with my little scissors cap. But look at those little hands and her little face just came in. She's just having a blast, just hanging out with mommy today and doing a little scrapping. And she's playing with some toys on my desk, grabbing everything that she can get her hands on. But I just love her sweet little hands. It's one of my favorite things. And her curly hair. Oh my goodness, she is adorable. So my photo today that I'm using is one that's actually going to go in my sister's books. So I'm doing a scrapbook for her and her family. I've been working on it since her firstborn. I think he just turned 11, I think. 9 or 11. I can't even remember what her oldest one is. I think one of them's 9, one of them's 11, something like that. But anyways, I've been working on it since her firstborn. And this was one of her travel photos that I just loved, so I pulled that out to scrap today to go in her book. And it's just a photo of her and her kids on their travels. So I am just backing all of this cut file with these patterned papers here. You can see how I just trace my Nuvo glue on there, and then I just stick down the letters. And my cut file is done. I'm not going to do anything else to this besides put the middle of the R in there, and then I'll trim out the middle section of that with my X-Acto knife. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do to the cut file itself. I just really like the way that it looks right now. I don't want to add anything else to it. And sometimes I'll add like some word phrases or something over the larger words just for some interest, or I'll pop something in the middles of the letters. But I'm not going to do that today. Sometimes I even take a white gel pen and do some doodling around the other letters that are just the cut file part, not the ones that I backed. But I didn't want to add anything. I decided on adding some leaves for embellishment, so I've pulled out some of the, these are clear, kind of like transparency leaves, and then some butterflies, and then some other leaves from the die cut packs. So I just pulled out some of those. I'm going to go ahead and stick this circle piece down at this point. I love that black and white stripe peeking out behind the blue. Just think that looks so cool. And then the cut file, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down because I know exactly where I want this to go, and I don't think I'm going to add anything else beneath it that I have to worry about. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick that down. I'm using my Nuvo glue on the smaller parts, and then I use my tape runner on that big section in the middle. I'm not going to pop it up off my page today for dimension or anything. I'm just going to leave this one flat. Let's see. I just want to make sure that it's straight because it kind of looked a little crooked whenever I first stuck it down. So I wanted to make sure it was straight. Then I added a couple little word phrases from the embellishment packs that I have here to go with this collection. And I'm just going to glue everything down at this point. I like that little butterfly. I'm going to pop up its wings and go ahead and glue down this leafy piece that's kind of like clear. And then I've got this little tag here that I'm going to actually thread through, but I am going to leave it blank because I know the date was in June sometime of 22, but I don't know the exact date. And I actually don't, I think I might know where this was because I've been there myself. I think that's where it was, but I don't know for sure. So I'll leave that to her so that she can add that in whenever she gets it. I've pulled out some flare here from the Peartree shop that I'm just going to add, and I'm going to grab some thread here and twiddle in behind both of those flare. These are the canvas flare, and I'm just going to wrap some behind there and use some glue dots to create my little glue dot sandwich. When I got this cut file, I accidentally cut the bottom of the P off. I only had a scrap of black that I was using, and I thought I put it in the right place on my cutting mat, and I thought it was far enough down to cover where that P was going to go, but then it ended up cutting off the very, very bottom of it, so it was really straight on the bottom, and I ended up kind of trimming it to make it round, but then I ended up sticking that flare on top of the bottom of the P anyway, so it didn't even matter. Here, I'm just wrapping this extra thread around my L just to give it a little something extra and make it look like that little tag is kind of hanging off of it, and then I'm just going to glue that down here. You can see my thread is behind my flare. I bumped my camera as usual whenever I was trying to do all that. And then here, I'm just going to finish this off by using some sequins. These are by Spiegelbaum Scraps, one of my favorite sequin companies. I'm actually on their design team as well. And this is the Bookish mix that I'm using today. And I just love these. They're so pretty. They match with so many different collections. And I'm just going to add a bunch of those just using some Nuvo glue and my sequin tool. So that's pretty much going to do it for this one. If you guys want to grab this cut file or the flare that I used, I will link both of those down below in the description for you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.